Our lives are impacted more by the way we think things are rather than what they actually are. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than we do in reality." We sit down and we think of circumstances that haven't yet transpired, and we work ourselves up. We change our mood, our internal well-being is compromised. You put yourself in a shit mood. You don't feel good. And for some of you, you make yourself physically sick. Because stress is a real thing. It changes your body chemistry and it leads to so many other conditions. And I speak to a lot of guys who are so worked up about something that hasn't even happened yet. But what if it does, Ali? Whether that's a situation with a girl that they're seeing or a business that they haven't even started yet. Or maybe the business has been operating for 2 or 3 months and they're worried about what's going to happen in 2 years. I always tell guys, worry about it when you get there. Worry about crossing the bridge when you get there. You're right here. You've just started and you're worrying about all the way down here. Now, there's a big difference between wanting to make the right steps going forward, in seeking advice from people that are ahead of you in life, more successful, people that have been in a relationship, a good relationship for 20, 30 years. There's a difference between taking on board some of their wisdom and just working yourself up and putting yourself in a shit mood. I don't worry about things as much as I used to anymore, man. I really don't. I take things one step at a time. There's no point of me stressing about how big my YouTube channel is going to be in 3 years and whether or not it's worth carrying on and all that bullshit. When I should just focus on what I'm doing today. I know that if I focus on providing valuable content on a consistent basis, at some point things will take off. You know, Les Brown has a saying where he says, "It will happen when it happens." And I want you guys to remember, if there's one thing to take away from this video, it will happen when it happens. I don't stress about, when am I going to succeed? When am I going to... No, it will happen when it happens. As long as I'm taking productive action on a consistent basis. It's inevitable. That's how I see it. It's just a matter of time. And I don't concern myself of when, or I don't concern myself with when it's going to happen. Because I know deep down inside there's a sense of knowing. I know I'm going to be a success. And by the way, when I say a success, I don't just mean, Lambos and Rolexes. No. I mean, I know I will achieve my goals and I will continue to achieve more and more success. Because I know myself. I know I'm taking productive action on a consistent basis. I don't stress about the when. I used to. Young Ali used to fucking worry. 19, 20, 21-year-old Ali used to worry about things that were so far ahead. Now I just take a deep breath and I take things one step at a time. Okay, what do we have to do today? And this is why I always talk about the importance of journaling. I keep this bad boy and I write down 3 things that I have to do every day, non-negotiables. And then I reflect on the day and cool. Tomorrow comes, same thing. But I'm not worried about 2028 and nah. I'm moving with speed right now. Don't get it twisted. I'm not moving slowly. I'm moving with speed. I'm making decisions quick. I'm calling people. I'm doing whatever I have to do. But I'm not worried. Because I am not going to I refuse to make myself physically unwell as a result of my thoughts. My mind is not going to control me. I control my mind. I'm in control here. I'm not going to let my mind put me in a shit mood, which will then affect my action. Because, and I was explaining this yesterday to a client I had on a coaching call. It starts off with action. Action leads to results, which leads to belief, which leads to more action. It's a triangle. Right? So I know if I take the action, the results will come. And when the results will come, the belief will increase and it just carries on. So when my mind says, but Ali, but what if the platform gets shut down? What if this happens? What if I'll worry about it when it happens? But for now, I'm going to take a massive amount of action, which will then lead to a massive amount of results, which will then lead to increased confidence and belief, which will then result in more action. And remember what I always say, guys, action takes you out of doubt, and doubt takes you out of action. If you're sat thinking and worrying, and it's because you're not taking enough action. Bottom line, you're not. You're sat down, you're allowing those thoughts to fester in your mind because of your inaction. So what do you need to do? What's the remedy? Go out there and take a massive amount of action. Move with speed. Guys that procrastinate are usually the guys that worry the most. But what if this happens? What if that happens? Whereas guys that are achieving a tremendous amount of success, they're dealing with the shit as it goes along. I think somebody once said that an entrepreneur is somebody that jumps off a cliff and builds a plane on the way down. You'll figure it out as you go along, man. Okay? So the process, engaging in the process, will improve you as a man. Okay, you learn what to do, what not to do. For example, cold calling, sales. You can sit down all day long and read books on how to be a good cold caller or how to be a good salesperson, right? But until you pick up the phone, you will not get any better. And this is why I always tell you guys, be careful of reading so many self-development books, because then you'll end up being the guy that has so many quotes to share with other people, but nothing's really improving in his own life. So read a book or read a chapter. This is how I do it. I'll read a chapter. Oh, that's fucking interesting. I'm going to apply that. Close. And then I'll come back to it another time and read another chapter. I'm not sat there reading 3 books a week and yet not applying any of those books into my own life. No. I'm very conscious of slipping into that procrastinating state of mind. That false sense of progress. Yeah, I've read 3 books. Great. Okay, but has your life improved in any way? No. Then put the books away and take a massive amount of action. You can revisit those books. They don't have legs. They're not going to run away. You can revisit them at a later point. But now you need to take a massive amount of action. That's how you overcome that anxiety. Okay? So we're not going to worry. And if there is something in your life right now that, in your opinion, is going wrong, take a step back and observe that situation. Okay. For example, you owe someone money. You're in debt. Okay. I owe this person $1,000. Okay, how can I repay this person as quickly as possible? I could do this. I could potentially sell my PlayStation 5, because it's a consequence of your action, by the way. Putting yourself in debt, gaining weight, it's a consequence of your action. There was something that you did wrong along the way that led to that. So sometimes you're going to have to do things that are uncomfortable to get out of that situation. So for example, you're in $1,000 worth of debt. You owe somebody money. He's chasing you up. And you're like, fuck, man. And it's creating a lot of anxiety. A lot of guys just sit down with this anxiety for weeks and weeks and potentially months and just work themselves up and not do anything about it. And stupid. Take action. Sit down. Okay, what can I do? I could sell my PlayStation 5. I could do this. I could work overtime here. Boom. You could pay off this person within 2 to 4 weeks. Potentially even a week if you really put your mind to it, right? And that's it. You've eliminated that stress now. Okay, that's something that now I can forget about. Right, what's the next thing that's causing me anxiety? Take productive steps towards eliminating the source of anxiety. But you've got to take action. It's what I told you guys. You can't just read books. How to get out of debt. No, just fucking sell shit. Be proactive. Be resourceful. Same thing with you being overweight. You're a fat bastard. You have to take drastic measures to ensure that you lose that weight. And you can lose that weight relatively quickly. You don't have to make yourself, oh, if I end up being fat for the rest of my life. Just fucking focus on cutting about 1 kilo a week off your body weight, which you can do. Get into a deficit. Start increasing the activity level. If you really wanted to, you would. Let's just cut the crap here. If you really wanted something to happen, you'd find a way. But because you keep finding an excuse, it means you really don't want to do much about it. Let's just keep it real, man. You enjoy complaining, And this is not a situation or a position I want you guys to be in. The person who loves the sound of his own voice when he's complaining. Oh, but guys, the guy who enjoys being a victim. Oh, guys, I don't know what to do with my life. Because eventually you're going to repel people away from you, and they're going to be like, for fuck's sake, you've been talking about this for the last year, and yet you haven't done anything about it. Those people are annoying to be around, and I'm going to keep it real. If you're one of them, you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Tell yourself, yeah, I've been noticing every time I meet my friends, I complain about the same shit, and I never do anything about it. You will notice people will start distancing themselves away from you, because it's not nice being around this guy. Complaining, but there's no proactive action. Same shit. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Remember that, fellas. If you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep getting what you've always got. So take proactive action. Move with speed. And eliminate the source of anxiety one step at a time. And if it's something you can't change yourself, then there's no point stressing about it. If it's beyond your control, ain't nothing you can do. Just accept it. But if it's something you can change it. Sit down with yourself, cup of coffee, piece of paper. This is what we're going to do. I'm sick and tired of feeling anxious every single day. I don't want to feel this way. It's impacting my health. Let's do something about it. Keep yourself in check. You're going to do things that are going to be uncomfortable. But you put yourself in this mess, you get yourself out of it. All right, fellas? No more sweet talking yourself. No more feeling sorry for yourself. No. We're going to find a solution. We're going to find a way. With that being said, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you give it a like. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. See you in the next video. Peace.